Howdy y'all, Dean Stilley here from the official home of unofficial Grateful Dead music news, reporting on night 2 at Nassau. This has been a great week in the New York area. Really, it dates back to the old days of the Grateful Dead land, now into Dead and Company land, I guess. It's a lot of the same ingredients, and one of the things that's intact is the adventure, the adventure that awaits in the journey. So whether you're going out to shows or shows are coming to you, you know that it's just going to be full of what I like to call a spontaneous, miraculous, serendipitous occurrence. That's kind of what it's like. These moments along the journey, guideposts along the way that kind of show you're exactly where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there, doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And this week was just like that for me, filled up with moments like that, conversations and making connections that kind of show you how interwoven our community is and our connection to others. Just a great experience this week, getting to deal with a lot of that and experience a lot of blessings that way. This was good stuff. The journey, the adventure's intact. The adventure is much the same. The players and the music have changed a little bit, but the adventure is probably the most similar aspect of all of it, and I love that. I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Rachel Ann. She's managing the Ace of Cups. They're there. If you're not going to Hampton at the Brooklyn Bowl tonight, you got the Ace of Cups and Grateful Shred. That should be a good time. Tickets are only $20. Get there to the Brooklyn Bowl tonight. So good luck with that. They're outstanding. As an all-female band, been around forever, and they make some really good music. So go catch them. Really, this is a good time. This is a great week in New York. I pull into the parking lot. I got my friends from Brooklyn there. They were there the night before too, getting properly seasoned before the show. Good to see them. I run into the Doyles. It's funny, if you try to meet up with people at shows and you can't seem to connect or something like that, I'm really bad at meeting places. If you tell me it's at 2 o'clock at this address, chances are I'm not coming. I just don't know what life's going to have in store for me at that moment, and I'm not willing to commit to meetup times and locations. It's just never been my thing, really. It's got to happen very organically. And the Doyles, I run into them the first night, and it's funny, once you run into people, then it seems like you can't turn around without running into them again. So the last night, run into them over and over again. It was kind of funny. I love you guys. You're a bright light in the community, and I love you forever. One of my favorite couples. I go into the show, I don't have a cardiologist. So I leave the show, I got a cardiologist. It's Grateful Dead land, Dead and Company land. That's how it works. You got a beautiful family, Doc. I look forward to coming and visit you. We'll keep an eye on my ticker throughout time, make sure it's strong. Great stuff. I spent the show with Mike Fenoya. O'Teal did a podcast with him this week, and so our seats were together. He's a stand-up comic and writes for Impractical Jokers and doing some cool stuff with podcasts. We might see if we can collaborate on kind of creating more laughter in the community. And so it was great to party with you all night, Mike. Good time. We had a blast. Let's just get to the music. We get things kicked off. You get Stranger starts it off. And it's not that there's anything wrong with Stranger, but it's moving pretty slow. You get No Speedway next, and I think it's humorous that the name Speedway is in the title of that song. That's kind of funny. That one couldn't have moved any slower without stopping, really. Dire Wolf was exceptional, I thought. That was our first infusion of some life into the set, and we had a good time working our way through Dire Wolf. I thought that was really strong. You're in the Coliseum, you get Masterpiece, you know you're going to get that just for the Coliseum line, and I love We Are on Masterpiece, so that was good. Sugar E's up next. Sugar E is moving along kind of slow. There's some powerful segments. We expect a bunch from Sugar E at this point because they can slay this one. And there was a segment that they all got hot at the same time, and that just filled the place with euphoric music. And that was just there was a segment of that was good. I think some of the other segments were a little more subdued than I expect, but there was a segment there. They all got hot at the same time, and that was explosive, boy. That was good for the soul. We get Cassidy next. Cassidy's always going to have some interesting twists and turns, some great jams, and a wonderful song. Music Never Stops ends the set. It seemed like everything was exceptionally slow to me. But listen, I know the theory about letting the songs breathe and all this shit. I just don't think it translates into reality. I think it's a cute theory. It sounds good, but in application, I'm not sure it translates for me personally. So this first set, if I'm being honest, this could be the soundtrack for a documentary on narcolepsy. That shit was funny, to me at least. It's okay. For me, Nassau has been a tale of second sets. And it was no different last night. They opened it up with Help Slip Frank. Bam! That's always going to be a favorite for me. That was great. The jams in the Slipknot. Unbelievable, really. I look forward to going back and listening to those. These were some intense jams. And as it goes into Franklin's, Franklin's really is just a musical expression of everything that's good in life. That one just gets you high stepping and high fiving and dancing hard. Had a great section. Everybody really into the moment, dancing their asses off. Love was alive and filled the air. Franklin's was a good time. Right into the Dark Star. The jams in the Dark Star were intense. This really intensity, I think, is kind of was the code word for me last night. Those jams, boy, they were falling apart as quickly as they were being rebuilt. That was some incredible ground the guys were covering on some amazing improvisational jams. Throughout that one, you get stretched out. Really, I felt after I made it through the Slipknot and the Dark Star, that's like powerlifting for the brain. Really, that's you put your mind on the treadmill. You do powerlifting for the brain. I got through the other end of the Dark Star. My brain was muscular. One of two things. I can go one of two ways. If you have some good material up there to begin with, when you pass through those jams, your brain becomes muscular. If you're a little bit loose up there when it starts, you'll have a hard time processing half a thought by the time it's finished. Those jams stretch you out and test the mind, and that one for me was a mental workout. I made it through, felt like I totally got cleansed. That was good stuff. Loved that. Look forward to listening to those Dark Star jams again. That was just a great time. Intensity at its finest. We get drums was outstanding. Real, they're up there just killing it. The first set I should have known. Kreutzmann didn't have his hat on. I was concerned. So I don't know if he put it on for the second set. My eyes remained closed for most of it. I really wasn't looking around much of the much improved light show. The lights are outstanding. Really, it seems like they consulted with Corroder or something. Whoever's doing lights must have been to some Fish shows. Very similar vibe there with the lighting. It's much improved. This is a great light show. So I did look at some of that, but I wasn't paying too much attention to screens. I like the stage without the screens, to be honest with you. I think they're a distraction. I like it without the screens. I don't need to look at these guys much. I know what they look like. It can be fun to get a glimpse of them, but I really like the stage and the light show without those screens back there. We get into space. Space was cool, I guess, spacey, I guess. So the wheel rolled around in there a little bit, it sounded like, and so then the other one was poking around. Ultimately, O'Teal drops the bombs, you get the other one. He's a bomb-dropping machine. These past four shows, O'Teal has dropped some bombs, and you know, Grateful Dead land, Dead and Company, we like to hear a real low note from time to time. That's pretty much makes most of us very happy when you drop an extra low one. And O'Teal, he thumped a few of those throughout the last 4 shows. It was great to hear that. The other one jams were wonderful. Really, that just intensity. Once again, that word continues to come to mind. A lot of intensity to the jams. That one is the other one just kind of turned to rubble. This beautiful rose emerges with the Wharf Rat. The way one broke down and the other one rose up was beautiful. So Wharf Rat's never been a favorite for me with this group of guys, but I thought it was outstanding. I really did. I thought it was great. The segment of that song that holds the most emotional weight and impact for me is, from getting a new start to flying away. That segment holds the most weight in the song for me, and to me it used to just be so large, just huge, and it's kind of medium now. There's not as much there, and I don't know what it is, and I probably know what it is, but anyway, at the end of that Wharf Rat, Mayor Boy, he was killing it, really. The jams throughout, he was putting a lot of notes in there, and I didn't mind him at all. But I say just keep on putting those notes at the end of the Wharf Rat. Put as many notes as you want in that motherfucker, because you were killing it, John. That was good stuff. You get Love Light. It was sexier than the motherfucker to end things. What a solid second set. That one had us all, really, we were marching away. A parade of love, happy faces everywhere. Great, great time had by all. I thought the music was intense and outstanding during that. Knockin's your encore. I like Knockin' with Mayer singing it. He sang it the first time or two. I think they played it. It seemed like Weir has reclaimed that one. That's okay. It's a great job. Love Knockin', always have. And that was good. This was a tale of second sets in Nassau. The second sets were outstanding. I thought last night was great. I won't be able to make it to Hampton. My son's got his first wrestling tournament of the year. My wife, I've been in Dead and Company land here playing around for a week. She's going to head out on a retreat of her own, little spiritual retreat she's going on. So I'm watching the kids, family first. Can't make it to Hampton. I'll be here at the home office. I'll be here listening away. Got some great new Meyer sound equipment for the sound system here. Some UP4 XPs are filling this room up with sound. It sounds great in here, so I look forward to doing Hampton from here. Wish I could be there, but family comes first. Travel safe, those that are going. I'm sure it's going to be a high time had there in Hampton. I love you forever, and we'll talk to you afterwards.